Hi everyone, welcome to the Letterside Lounge. We're live today on Saturday, August 16th, right before Collision, to go over Dynamite from last week because I wasn't home and yeah.
I watched it twice.
Yeah, I watched it today, took some notes. It was a really good show.
It was awesome.
Really, really good show.
All right, let's put a little energy into this. How good was that Dynamite? I told you it was the best wrestling show that I could think of that I've seen recently. You watched it today, right? It was the second time I watched it. So let's roll into your review. Can you read that?
Yep. So,
Can you see it in our live lighting that we got going
yes,
on here?
I can.
All right.
Okay.
You're going to school for journalism, right?
Yes, I am.
1 year down?
Four more
Four
to
to go. This is just the start of our studio here. This is really your platform. I'm just dragging you through it at the moment. You're going to school for journalism. You're a little nervous because it's our first live stream.
I'm not that nervous, guys.
All right.
I just feel like we got a lot to cover here. It was a very packed show, very, very good show. Honestly, I think it was the best televised show that I have seen in a very long time. AEW Dynamite has been giving us those lately. So, you ready to jump
I'm
in?
ready to listen.
All right. So, the show opened up with MJF and Hangman Adam Page coming face-to-face in the ring, which, by the way, the pyro budget, I don't know. It seems like it's increased because Hangman got some good pyro there. MJF says that it's going to be the main character, Hangman, versus the main antagonist, MJF. And he tried to break Hangman down into giving him a match. He referenced Seabiscuit again. And then Hangman went back at him and said that Seabiscuit wins in the end, whether MJF remembers that or not. And MJF won't be goading him into giving him a title shot. Then MJF made a few references to some higher beings and said that he's going to take the sheep clothing off of Hangman and said that he would rather be himself than be Hangman because at least MJF is real. Hangman said that MJF still doesn't have a match against him, even though he was acting like he already did. He didn't want to sign, MJF didn't want to sign his contract, cash it in, because he wanted an insurance policy in the contract, and he didn't think that he could actually get the belt off of Hangman. He told MJF to go all in, like AEW was built for. And then MJF finally cracked and said that he's cashing in his contract for Forbidden Door for a title match.
Yeah, it was an awesome segment. To me, what professional wrestling should be.
It was really the way to open up the show like that. Some good stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So next up, we cut to Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Marina Shafir outside. Mox tells the camera and Darby Allin that whatever he thinks is happening at Forbidden Door isn't actually happening at Forbidden Door, tying in last week's segment with the body bag. The trio then walked out into the ring for Moxley's match against Kevin Knight. Knight was showing some crazy athleticism with his jumps and high-flying maneuvers. And there was at least one dropkick off the apron that was really crazy. I just wanted to make note of that because to jump up off the ground to the apron to then dropkick off the apron, it was good stuff. At one point, he jumped over the turnbuckle to hit Moxley. Mox seemed like he was about to get into it at one point with the referee, but after all, in the end, he was deferential to him. We learned that word from the commentators.
Yeah, learned a new word today.
Yep. To end the match, Moxley choked out Knight, and he didn't let go, which led to Speedball Mike Bailey joining him in the ring. But then Wheeler Yuta started beating up on Speedball. Then Darby Allin's music hit, and all of a sudden Moxley and co start looking around like trouble's about to happen. And then Darby Allin, with a special gleam in his eye, a skateboard in one hand and a body bag in another, comes out to the ring, starts beating up on Yuta. And then he puts him in the body bag, zips it up, and then goes to coffin drop on him. But Claudio Castagnoli came out, and he starts beating up on Darby Allin. He put him in the body bag and started doing some crazy moves on Darby Allin in the body bag, and including one on his mighty shoulders, per the commentators. Suddenly, Will Ospreay comes out, drags Claudio Castagnoli out, and then starts beating up on Wheeler Yuta, giving him the hidden blade. Moxley and Marina Shafir come back out because they ran away. And then just in time for Will Ospreay to call Moxley out for wanting to snap his neck, said that he's going to snap his neck, and then asked him to bring all of his friends out to London for a lights-out steel cage match.
Guys, if you watched the show, if you watched that Dynamite, and you followed along with what Summer has brought us to now, at this point in the show, what do you guys think of that show? Like, think back to now we've gone through MJF and Hangman, and now this last thing here with the body bag and everything else. What do you guys think of that show so far? Like, we didn't even get to the rest of it yet. Like, I really want to know what you guys think of that, because I think it's amazing professional wrestling. I think that their AEW right now is, I think TKO should be concerned, because if those people that are sleepwalking through those shows, you know, like I've tried to do, because Summer's a journalist and we're trying to cover it. She's doing it in a journalistic fashion, and I'm really not, because I don't have to. I'm not a journalist. If some of them people tune into AEW, they're going to want to watch again. I think you should check it out if you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
What do you think, though? If you did watch it, I want to know what you guys think. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think of it so far. What do you think of what they're doing with that Dynamite show?
That was the opening match, and I mean, in my opinion, the way that they stacked all of the people coming out, it was like a pay-per-view main event level
great, man.
Starting point.
That followed, like, the first promo between, you know, Hangman and MJF, and then rolling into that.
Yeah.
We were just warming up, weren't we?
Yeah. And then we took a little breather because they played a very beautifully put together recap package of the whole Cope and Stoke build up to foreshadow that match.
Did a
coming
great
up.
job with that, man.
Yeah.
They're really,
The editing team on point.
Yep.
On point. So next up, it was the CEO with Sky Blue and Thekla
coming
versus
out shaking them belts around.
Yes. The dance with the belts, guys. It was on point.
Yeah.
On point. It was so fun.
Yeah, I love the belts.
Yep. So the three of them went against Alex Windsor, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale. The Triangle of Madness walkout was on point too, with the little package in the beginning to go out to the walkout. And then you had them in the triangle, and then you had the CEO try to break into the triangle.
Tekla's gear seems to be, at least the outer shell, got a little darker, so that's good. It matches a little bit better.
Yeah.
I just think that if you're going to be a trio, you should kind of match, so it's good that it's coming together like that.
Then they showed Timeless Toni Storm up in the crowd with her music playing. And then they played Athena's music. And she was on the opposite side, up in the crowd, watching the match. What a match. Truly.
Yeah.
I mean, nonstop, action-packed. That was women's wrestling at its finest, in my opinion.
And so up to this point, like I'm asking you again, really, what do you guys think? Because, like, even going back to the match before that, like Moxley's character, right? If you've been watching AEW, you've seen him come into this, really now, that dude's an incredible physical condition, especially for his age, but for any age. So that really sells that role even more, doesn't it? Like, what do you think? And then we roll into this women's match where you got Toni Storm up there, you got Athena up there, the match itself. What a lot of thought went into this show.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of thought and a lot of really awesome execution, really.
Like, everything was done so well.
Yeah.
The camera work, and then the lighting, the people, like the wrestlers themselves,
You know
the
what I've noticed?
storylines.
I didn't notice the cameramen really.
I was actually going
But
to tell you that. I was
we're
actually going to
seeing
say
them
that. I
now.
made a note of that at some point.
We're seeing them at TKO where you never used to see them.
Yeah, that's in my notes somewhere because
Now
I did
you
notice
see them
that.
sloppily as they're doing their, but you don't really see them over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
AEW.
they're like
That's
hidden.
who, I mean, over here. We don't work for them. But we're reviewing that show today. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm considering. Speaking of over here, right over here, we got our first giveaway, guys. It's listed on our page. If you click over to our homepage, it's the first video pinned up there. And once we hit 100 subs, we're going to be sending this out. We're going to draw it live at random. So far, we have a couple entries, so it's going out to somebody. So if you're not in on it yet, it's on our homepage. I'll look for the video, and there's basic instructions on how to enter. You got to be subscribed. You got to like and comment that video. And then, after that one, that's going out 100. At 250, we're going to do one of these and a collection of figures at matches. You know, Viva La Raza and all of that. Then we have another one that'll go at 500 with a whole bunch more stuff. And yeah, because we got competition out there, guys, so we need exposure. So yeah, I'm going to be cheating a little bit by throwing a couple bucks, but it's all towards its good vibe stuff. It's going along with what we're talking about. And hey, it's a legit show, that's for sure. No one's going to be watching it if we're not legit. They'll just be hanging around for the giveaways. So I know we're going to have a good show.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have to carry our own weight, content wise. This will just help get people to give us a little bit of a look, and then hopefully you stick around. That's what we're hoping. You ready?
Yes, I am.
I bought you some time there, seeing you were adjusting some.
Yeah, I wanted to change the title of the live stream.
Oh, cool.
So it now says live AEW Dynamite 813 review
Cool.
recap before going into All In.
Awesome.
Or going into Collision.
All right, I don't want to slow you down because
Yes.
it's probably getting close.
So, at the end of the match, Athena and Toni Storm start going after each other. They go out to the ring. And then they end up, Athena and Mercedes Moné will have a match against Toni Storm and Alex Windsor next week on Dynamite. In a very comedic turn of events, I suppose, is the best way to put it. You got Toni Storm and Alex Windsor dancing around in the ring. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. I'm
You
excited to
take
see
the
that.
high road,
Yeah.
and we'll take the low road. We'll
Yep.
take the low road. I love that. Toni Storm's going to take the low road. Not going to be any discussion about it. Good for you.
So, after that match was made official, Tony Khan was working fast, according to the commentators.
Yeah, he's
making
on
that
the
official.
ball, man.
That's right.
For all he does, and for this show that he's pulling off
Yeah,
now,
really.
I believe he works
Me
fast.
too. Me too. We cut to Will Ospreay, which, speaking of Tony Khan, Will Ospreay says that he made a match without Tony Khan's knowing, so naturally, he was thrilled. Which, I mean, come on. The way that they talk about Tony Khan in the shows, really funny stuff.
Yeah.
Really good, funny stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be Ospreay, Darby Allin, a couple more people that they have to confirm.
We're really in the dark here, dude. By the looks of things. You should click yours up once
Should I?
more. Yeah. Well, at least be able to see who you are a little bit, pal. That's all right, guys. We're new at this. You know? Anytime you watch a live stream, and if you have any exposure to YouTube at all, you see this is the kind of stuff that they do.
I feel like that. I'm lit.
Cool, now you're lit. All right. I'm sorry, pal.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay. So it's going to be Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, a couple more people they have to confirm, and the ace Hiroshi Tanahashi
The Ace.
versus...
Ace, I got connections to that name. That's what reminded me. I talked to Dennis about some of our heritage.
Really?
It reminded me of that, yeah, and he was like, kind of caught him out of the blue, and I was like, I'll explain in the future, but like that stuff I sent to Pam, it reminded me of that. All right, go ahead. Nothing to do with the match, guys. You know me, sometimes I ramble off down a side rabbit hole, and I come out of another one. Boop. All right, here I am.
So they're going to be versing Jon Moxley and some of his buddies. And then Renee Paquette asks him how his injury is, his neck injury. And he says, fine, in a very clipped tone. Yeah. And then he asks her...
He needs Harry Potter to work some of that magic. Because who's he remind me of again?
Ron Weasley.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be ready to roll, right? Weasley always comes through.
That's
He'll
right.
come in there with that little blue car and
Oh my God.
right through the entryway.
Yeah, probably. Actually, they should play into that more. Anyway, they're in London. I mean,
he
that would be
doesn't
funny.
always look that way, but certain haircuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Or if he's wearing a hat, sometimes I see it. And I mean that in the utmost respect because he's my favorite Harry Potter character.
Yeah, we're huge fans, man. And wrestling is part magic.
That's true. That's the truth. So he asked Renee Paquette to tell her husband that he would like a chat with him next week in Glasgow, Scotland. So, next up, we've got Cope versus Stoke in the ring. The security had to carry Stoke out there because he seemed a little hesitant to come out on his own. One of the commentators says that he feels bad for Big Stoke. Another one says, I don't. Cope takes some surveys, takes some polls throughout the crowd. One of them was, should I just pin him? Because he was beating him up at that point. And everybody said no, so he didn't pin him.
I love the look when he's sitting there all waiting for him to come out. Like, what's this all about as he's waiting patiently? And then they carry him out. What's this? Is this Collision starting?
No, this is still the Hunger Games.
It was some kind of new Jay White thing for a minute.
It kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
Then FTR eventually comes out. They interfere with the match. So the restraining order is now void because they interfered with one of Cope's matches. Then Cope just starts beating them up. But then Stoke throws powder in Adam Copeland's face. And then the match ends. FTR tried to make him pay for what he did to Stoke. And then Christian Cage's music hits in a shocking turn of events. And he comes out with the spike. And then Nick Wayne tries to come out, hit him with a chair, but... Dude,
it was a real, like, bang, bang, bang type of a... Dude, they're working great. There was no waiting around and like... Oh, man. They're doing it right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just being done right, man, and I really appreciate it. And Collision's about to start.
It was fast-paced to the very end. Nick Wayne and his buddies come out. Cope spears Kip Sabian to protect Christian. And then Christian Cage hands Spike over to Adam Copeland. And then Adam Copeland pulls Christian Cage in for a hug. And then Christian Cage nods at him and walks away. So... Oh, but they're teaming up. They're teaming up at Forbidden Door.
Oh, cool.
Against Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. So that should be a good one.
How did I miss that?
They just flashed it. They didn't really put a big emphasis on that.
Oh, all right.
But I'm hoping they play into that more. And then Hook teaser.
I was writing a couple bullet points too.
Yeah.
I could have looked down for a minute. Mm-hmm. You really can miss stuff when
you're doing stuff
because like they're doing it at AEW.
They're doing.
When it's just rolling like, they're putting a lot of content in 2 hours. They're not stretching it out there. They're compacting it in there. Here comes Tony. He's walking out. And we got Collision going in the background, guys. So
if we make random comments, that's what it's about.
Yeah, you guys are probably watching it too right now. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
This is a good test run for us.
Yep.
What do you got?
Then they hit us with the Hook teaser. With the music playing. I've been on vacation and now I'm coming home. You got the New York City skyline in there. And then all of a sudden you get the H. The H in the sky like the bat symbol. Very good stuff. Which, by the way, I did see that he signed an extended contract. So he's gonna be in AEW for a few more years. So that's good. Good to see. Next up, we have the Young Bucks, Kyle Fletcher and Josh Alexander versus Brody King, Tomohiro Ishii, Hologram, and Hiromu Tanahashi. There was random pyro.
I'm gonna pause this.
Okay.
So we can run through commercial, so we don't miss this, and then we'll plow through the end of this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. They hit some random pyro when they first
Yeah,
came back
yeah,
from
yeah.
commercial.
That
And
was
then
great.
one of
First it looked
the
like,
commentators were a little confused
well,
on
we
that.
were there one time
Yeah.
when
with
Ricky Starks came out.
Yeah.
Not Saints.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks.
Sorry, my bad,
He
guys.
came
my bad.
out. We were up in Connecticut, I think, right? One of
No,
those.
we were in Newark.
Okay. And then all of a sudden they must have hit the wrong button because
Yeah.
it was like the grand finale. Boom, bam, boom. He even looked back.
Yeah, because it was when he had
Whoa,
just won the
man.
belt. He had just
Yeah,
won the
yeah.
belt. And they hit him with a bunch of pyro, and then there was no pyro for the rest of the night.
It was funny. So we thought, oh, maybe this was a mistake. And I knew though this time, so I was like, yeah. Let me back this up so you can see. Look, they must have hit the wrong button, and then here comes the Bucks.
Yeah, and then there's random pyro, but the crowd just goes with it because then they start chanting AEW. So that was pretty funny. And then you all of a sudden over the loudspeakers you hear, "I'm sorry, folks, we do not have music for the Young Bucks tonight." And then they just walk out. And then on their screen, on the back screens, flash their old nicknames. Justin Roberts, they were getting into it with Justin Roberts a little bit. He said joining
He
these
took a
guys.
super kick.
Yeah, yep. During the match, he took a
up
random super
against the
kick.
rail.
Yeah, from
wasn't
both
a-
the Young Bucks at the same time. Double
There
super
wasn't a
kick.
lot of room there to move around. So, look pretty good there, Justin. Hope you're right.
Me too. After that super kick, they had to restore order, which
No, anytime you got to restore order in a wrestling show, things are going good.
that's true. That's true. They come back from commercial, and then they announce that each of the Young Bucks are fined $10,000, and Tony Schiavone now needs to do the announcing for the rest of the night. At one point, they said, "What action?" Which, I mean, how do you disagree with that? Because this was a fast-paced match to the very end. And then, let's see. Yeah, that was that match. Very good one.
It was.
Sorry, thought I
It was
missed
really
something.
good. Yeah, that's probably why you thought you missed something.
Yeah, because
We were busy watching a lot of it. Yeah.
that
'Cause we didn't have a lot of time because you've been really busy at school. We actually
Yeah.
watched that show. You wrote some stuff. We thought about doing a video like we've been doing, but we want to get this live show going in a week and a half. So we figured, you know what? Let's just run through a live here. We'll do your review while we're running a live, and if anybody signs on, that would be really cool and awesome. If you're watching us after the fact, thanks very much, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. If you already have, really appreciate it. I don't want to slow you down anymore.
all good. Then we have Swerve Strickland come out with Prince Nana and do a little interview with Renee Paquette. And then he said that winning the championship is his only priority. And then Kazuchika Okada comes out. My bad, guys. Kazuchika Okada comes out and he calls out Swerve for the knee injury and says that he's got no chance. He throws one curse word in there, which I won't repeat for.
I think that's a 5-letter word.
Is it?
But go ahead. Keep rolling. Keep it rolling.
They get into it a little bit, but security separates them, keeps them separated. And then we have Moxley in the back, and somebody's informing Moxley that their opponents have Tanahashi. And then he goes, "They got Tanahashi? Hiroshi Tanahashi?" So you automatically know that they're in for it, coming Forbidden Door. And then they take Jon Moxley and the Death Riders take a little trip to the AEW Extras room, and inside sitting the Young Bucks. So
Yeah, in a little cinder block room.
yep, they tell everybody else to scram, and then they
Former EVPs, guys.
yeah.
Don't forget. From riches to rags, it's starting to look like. All right.
I love it. I love how much they're playing
Yeah,
into
me
it,
too.
to be honest. Because, yeah, that's a
Awesome.
solid story there.
Awesome job.
Then we cut to the main event of the evening, the Ops versus LFI, in a pretty brutal but pretty short match, I will say.
Samoan Joseph.
Yeah. Apparently, did you guys see he got hurt filming Twisted Metals?
Oh, did he? I didn't
Yes,
see that.
he fractured his ankle
Oh, shit.
and a couple other stuff because he didn't have a stunt double.
Ooh, man,
And that's like a
ankle
pretty
is
pretty hard show to film, apparently. That's coming from Fightful Select, but I mean,
That
I hope
show
he
with
gets-
with his flaming head.
yeah. So I hope he heals up soon.
Yeah.
But even he wrestled with it. He didn't have like a ton of action throughout the match, but he did wrestle with it.
Yeah.
And then to close out the show, Hangman
Yes,
was in the
yes.
parking garage.
Yeah, he was on his
And-
way home, right?
Yeah,
Just-
with his suitcase.
Dude, I mean,
That's
come
it.
on, man. Isn't he doing enough there?
Yeah, really.
Like, I can't get home. Now, he almost made it out of there, and then he got slowed down.
Yeah.
By who?
I'm pretty sure it was Renee Paquette.
That's what I thought.
It's a little suspect.
Who was she again?
Little suspect. John Ma-
Yeah, Moxley's wife.
And then MJF comes out and starts beating him up.
Mhm.
Slams his head against
Now,
the
if
Lincoln.
Renee wasn't out there,
Ooh.
he could have just went home. Wasn't that right?
Yeah. Sounds about right to me.
Something's up there.
And
Guys,
then-
thanks for watching. Oh,
Well, no,
go.
I just want to talk about they did it again with how the show ended. The commentators weren't talking. Nobody was talking. You just zoom in on Hangman sitting
yeah.
against the Lincoln
Dude,
with
it's
Moxley,
such good
with
TV.
MJF walking off.
It's such good TV. They're
That
doing
is
an
cinema.
awesome job,
That is
man.
pure cinema,
They're
guys.
doing an awesome
Pure
job.
cinema.
All right, so
That's
we're
all I
done,
got.
I think, right?
Yeah, that was
It's
the
only
show.
8:08. We were trying to get done before Collision.
Yep.
Guys, if you watch this after we post it, thanks very much. It starts off kind of weak. You know, we're kind of like, well, we're really live. We don't know what's going to happen.
We
You
had to
know?
set up all of our technology.
I
had
said you
to
were
figure
nervous
that
and
out.
you gave me the old whammo. So I said, all right, I'm ready to listen. So I let you roll through.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching, guys. We're signing off now so we can watch Collision. Catch us next time.
Thank you very much for
We
watching.
want to do a review on Collision. We're probably going
Yeah.
to do an actual legit one, maybe. Are we going to do this again? I guess
don't know.
we'll see.
I guess we'll find out.
Maybe tomorrow we'll see us again here, or we'll see somebody besides our favorite
Thank you, Taylor.
assistant over there. Thanks very much, Tim.
Yay. Our chat moderator.
Right, everybody.
Good night, guys.